Yeah, good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Yeah, very good morning, children. Please welcome to English class. Today we are going to talk about Unit 7. The title of the Unit 7 is Nation and Diversity. And as we know, it includes three chapters. The first chapter, reading A, is My Childhood. We have already completed. And the second reading, reading B, it's a poem, a plea for India. And reading C is Unity in Diversity in India. So, in this class, we are going to talk about reading C, Unity in Diversity, Unity in Diversity in India. So, this is the topic this is the lesson that we are going to read. Let us try to understand the title first. There are two words which are very, very important for understanding. The first word is unity, and the second word is diversity. And there are these two words are commonly used words. We use them regularly. Unity means it's a state of being united or joined as a whole, as a one unit, as a oneness. So that is unity. And what is diversity? It is a range of different things or different kinds of people or different sects. So this is entirely different from the first one. Unity, the meaning is joining together as oneness. Diversity means having different shades or different things. And these two are opposite actually, opposite words. But the title is Unity in Diversity in India. And let us read and try to understand. As we all know that India is a unique country in all the countries of the world. This is our country, and we know a lot about this country, and we have been reading about our own country from class 1. And let us try to know more in an elevated way, in a better manner, what exactly and how we can understand India in a better manner after reading this lesson. And let us try to read and understand in a better way. The first paragraph is like this: India, a country of many ethnic groups, is a land of myriad languages, and veritable babel of tongues and numerous modes of apparel. For the most part, the continental dimensions of the country account for these variations and diversities. Besides, there are several religions, sects, and beliefs, but there are certain common links and uniting bonds that people have sought to develop in order to achieve the eminently, eminently desirable goal of unity amidst diversity. And see, the starting itself, the first paragraph itself, we can understand the complete picture of India. So India has many ethnic groups. What are ethnic groups? Group means, group of people living together. So many ethnic groups, many cultural groups, many traditional groups, many tribal groups. Every group of people have their own kind of doing things, following some kind of different kind of ideas or ideology. And there are many ethnic groups, it seems, and a land of myriad languages. And what is myriad? Myriad is countless, many languages. We have many languages. Though there are certain languages which are recognized by the government of India, but there are so many languages which are not recognized by government of India, which are used by people of this country. And a variable babble of tongues, which means there are many people who are speaking many languages in this country. So that's the reason we speak. So if you take in Telangana, we speak Telugu. You go to Tamil Nadu, they speak Tamil, and Karnataka. So this is how we have different languages for different states. And not only that, within the state also, we have so many groups, they speak their own languages. So this is the greatest differentiation, diversity that in the first paragraph itself, the author is trying to tell us. The most part, the continental dimensions of the country account for these variations and diversities. So continental, So, and not only that, apparel, different kinds of clothings are also visible in this country. For example, we wear different kind of clothing. You go to Punjab, they wear different kinds of clothing. The entire the apparel means attire. So whatever clothing that we wear, so that is entirely different from north to south India, and within the south also from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. So we wear different kinds of clothing, and that is one more kind of differentiation that we have in this country. And one more thing, continental dimensions of the country account for these variations and diversity. And what is continental dimensions? So we have the land, no? The physical land. That is what is continental dimensions. Whatever the land, in the north we have Himalayas, in the south we have Hindu Mahasamudram. So uh, in west we have Arabian, and in the east we have Bangaladesh. So these are all the dimensions we have, and this is the land we live in this country. So all these dimensions are account for these kind of varieties. So you go from top to bottom or bottom to top, from left to right, you find this kind of variations, this kind of diversities, differences among everything. Besides, even then also, there are several religions, sects, and beliefs. And of course, there are many religions, many sections of people, and many people believe many things in our country. But there are certain common links. So common links is very important here. So common links, though we believe many other things, our belief system is not same, our dressing is not same, our language is not same, our area is not same, but there are common links and uniting bonds that people have sought to develop in order to achieve the eminently desirable goal of unity amidst diversity. Eminality. What is eminality? It's a mainland, inland, desirable goal. So, what is the desirable goal of our country? Being united. So, though the people of our country are different in so many varieties or so many ways, all of them know that their desirable goal is only one thing, and that thing is very greatest thing, and it is common in all the people of our country. Though they live in amidst in the middle of diversities, they really understand what is the exact goal of our country, what is the exact aim of our country. And all the people, surprisingly, they live in diversities, but they understand as a one thing, and that they are called common links, and they are called uniting bonds. And what are those uniting bonds, and what are those common links? And that is very important, because those things are uniting us, those things are connecting us, linking us from person to person, people to people, group to group, and state to state, and region to region. So this is very important in the first paragraph. So we have some common links that are uniting us. Though there are many varieties of groups, languages, tongues, and dresses, and many dimensions, many diversities are there, but there are common links, and common links are very important. And fortunately, all the people of this country know it. What are the common links, uniting bonds? That is the greatest thing in the first paragraph itself. And if we read and understand the first paragraph very clearly, and it's very easy for us to, the entire chapter is about this only. So it is about common links, which is uniting us. And let's see the second paragraph. It is true that superficial observers are likely to be bewildered by the astonishing variety of Indian life. They fail to discover the one in many, the individual in the aggregate, the simple in the composite. With them, the whole is lost in its parts. What is needed is the superior interpretation, synthesis of a power of the mind that can give rise to a vision of the whole. So fantastic paragraph. This is a vision of whole, not the vision of one, not the vision of no a simple. It's a vision of the the whole, and vision of the aggregate, and vision of the composite. And these three words are very, very important in the second paragraph. And see, for a superficial observer, a person who comes from other country, he sees, if he comes to India, if he sees a North Indian who is 6 or 7 feet height with a fair complexion, when he comes to South India, he sees a 4 feet, 5 feet dark complexion fellow. There is no similarity between these two guys at all. But they say, I am Indian, and this fellow also says, I am Indian. So for the fellow who comes from outside, he will be shocked by seeing these two people saying saying that they are Indians. But their physical appearance is different, their language is different, and everything is different. But they say we are Indians. No, for a superficial observer, a person who observes on the surface, not understanding the depthness of this country, for such kind of people, and they cannot understand what exactly the heart of India is. So it is true that superficial observers are likely to be bewildered by the astonishing variety of Indian life, bewildered by, shocked by, confused by, astonishing variety of Indian life, surprising, shocking variety of Indian life. And you can see in your village, and there are many people, if there are 1,000 houses, and 1,000 houses will have 1,000 kinds of differentiation, and 1,000 people may be different, belonging to different 1,000 kinds of belief systems, and 1,000 kinds of caste systems, 1,000 kinds of followers. So this is a variety of Indian life. And if somebody comes from outside, he will be shocked by seeing how these people are able to live together. For a superficial observer, one who observes on the surface, not understanding the in-depth quality of the country, and he cannot understand, or she cannot understand, who observes India on the surface. So if you really want to observe or understand India, and you have to understand India's uh, common links or commonality among the people. And one who observes superficially, they fail to discover the one in many. They only see many people following many religions, many people following many belief systems, many people living, speaking many languages, many people wearing many different kinds of dresses, attire, but they never become successful in identifying oneness among all these many people. The individual in aggregate, and they see individual as a one person, but they cannot, they fail to see that they are collective. But unfortunately, no, we are individual. When the outsider comes and they see, they see as one group, as one individual. No, that one group is somehow linked to the other group also. That is collectiveness. That is aggregate. The simple in the composite. So simple means what? Only single one. Composite means complex. So we have simple, complex, complex sentences. More than one is complex, composite. And no, so more than one group. It is combination of more than one group. Normally, when you go to other countries, just go to other countries. They belong. All of them belong to only one community, or one religion, or one belief system, whatever they. But when you come here into our country, that is the greatness of our country. You cannot find this kind of country anywhere in the world, on the planet. So this is the composite, simple in the composite. So other people who are observing India as a superficially, they cannot identify the compositeness of this country, and they cannot identify the aggregatedness of this country, and they cannot understand the oneness in the many things, and they fail to identify this kind of unity among the people. They only see that the people are divided in this country, but they are united. They fail to understand. Within, the whole is lost in its parts. Yeah, this is very fantastic. With them, who are them? The people who see this country as a superficially outside, they lost their wholeness in its parts. They see country as a part, 27 or 29 states, and within a state there are so many these divisions. So they see as a parts of this people, or parts of the land, but they never see this country as a whole. They miss this rhythm of this oneness, wholeness of this country. That is surprising for the people who come from outside. And the people we who are living in this country, we know it very well, right? We are very, very intelligent to understand what is oneness, what is not. What is needed is the superior interpretation. If you really want to understand the oneness in this country among the many, the composite in the simple thing, simple way, in the aggregatedness of this country, we need to have superior interpretation. Interpretation means understanding. Superior, higher level of understanding is required. Not a common man can understand the India. So we need to have a higher level of understanding this country if you really want to understand what exactly the unity in diversity of this country. Not only that, synthesis of the power of the mind that can give rise to a vision of the world, vision of the whole. So synthesis, combination of power. One should have a synthesis of combination of the powerful mind that can give a rise to a vision of the whole, not individual, not having self-centered. Most of the time, if you we most of the time we compare our country with the Western country, and we sometimes say that those people are doing great things. But what happens? They are self-centered. They never concentrate on whole. They concentrate on them. They concentrate on his or her own life. But in India, our vision is the vision of the whole, not individual. And most of the time, most of the countries, their vision is vision of the one, vision of the individual. But here we have the vision of the whole. So we see India as a whole, not a part, not one place, not one language, not one belief system, not one community or one caste. No, not at all. We believe that this, if you really want to understand this vision of a whole, what is needed? A superior interpretation is needed, a superior kind of understanding and the synthesis. The power of the mind is needed, not an ordinary mind understand this kind of vision of the whole. So by this, we can understand this. Indians have this power of this synthesis to understand superior power to understand India. So we all Indians have understood it that we are one. So we have a superior interpretation. So nobody in this world can interpret the life as good as Indians do. So that is a greatness in this paragraph we have. So a foreigner cannot understand what exactly the heart of India, but we already understood. So we can understand. We have the power of mind. So we have the power of mind to understand the vision of the whole and realize it and living in it. And let's move to the third paragraph. A keen penetrating insight will not fail to recognize the fundamental unity beneath the manifold variety in India. The diversity itself, far from being a damage cause of disunity and weakness, is a fertile source of strength and wealth. Sir Herbert Rainsleigh has rightly observed beneath the manifold diversity of physical and social types, languages, customs, and religions, which strike the observer in India, there can still be discerned a certain underlying uniformity of life from the Himalayas to Cape Cameroon. So from Himalayas to Cape Cameroon, there is only one kind of life is we are leading. That is the unity of this beauty of this country. So penetrating, shocking, penetrating, sharp, very, very sharp. Manifold means many, multiple, so many. So most of the time when we observe in the other countries, like what happens? So what is the damaging thing in disunity or diversity is a disunity or weakness most of the time. That's the reason most of the European countries, they believe that we all should belong to only one community, one belief system or only one. No, that is not the weakness. So what the author is trying to tell us is most of the time we believe that everybody, if you belong to same community, that is the strength. No, not at all. And most of the Europeans believe that. And if we have so many diversities, so many different people live in same place, they cannot be united and there will not be any development. But we as we Indians are simply believing that we, being so diversified in many ways, but we live as a one and we are for development. And they believe that diversity is a damage for disunity or weakness, but we believe that diversity is really a source of strength. It's a fertile source of strength and wealth. Whatever the Europeans or whatever the other people think that diversity is a weakness or the cause for disunity, but we believe diversity is a fertile source of our strength and wealth. And we realized it, we believed it, and we are following it, and so we are leading in many ways. Since we are diversified, everybody is diversely talented, and that's the reason we are leading in many ways, many areas in this world. So that is one thing, that is the beauty of this. Whatever the other people believe, and we exactly show it in a positive manner. People believe that diversity is weakness, but we believe that diversity is a strength. And people believe that diversity is disunity, leads to disunity, but we believe that diversity leads to unity. This is entirely different, shocking also. And we don't understand it, seems it by seeing it, observing it superficially, but we have to go it in deep to understand by having a superficial, having a insight understanding of what exactly India is. And there is a great man, Sir Herbert Rinsley. He said, after observing India, what did he say? Beneath the manifold diversity of physical and social types, languages, customs, and religions which strike the observer in India, there can still be discerned a certain underlying uniformity. To detect, we can detect that there are many varieties, many languages, customs, religions, and there are many other things, but though there are many other things, still we can detect something, we can identify something that is underlying, which is inside everybody's heart, that is uniforming the life of India. That is the greatness of all Indians, and we all should appreciate ourselves for being so nice. And from Himalayas, this is the place where Himalayas are, and this is the place where the Cape Cameroon is. And from top to bottom, the entire country, and everybody is believing that this kind of attitude is prevailed all among us. And the next paragraph, from his long and first-hand experience in India, Vincent A. Smith says that the civilization of India has many features which differentiate it from that of the other regions of the world. While they are common to the world country in degree sufficient to justify its treatment as unity in the history of human, social, and intellectual development. So, in this paragraph, the author is trying to say that so the first-hand experience of India. So, the author A. Smith is trying to tell us about the civilization of India. And what is civilization? It's a progress, development, whatever development is going on day by day. It is called civilization, the way of life, how the people live. And of course, India is not the same India that we were before 100 years ago. We are so forward in many ways, in many fields. And of course, it will not be the same after 200 years from now. And we'll be number one in the world. Somehow, if we really understand this kind of sensitivity of this country. So, what A. Smith says that civilization of India has many features which differentiate it from that of the other regions of the world. Of course, so the entire civilization of our country is entirely different from other nations of the world. You take, there are many other, more than 200 countries are there in the world. You will not find such kind of civilization, such kind of progress, having lot of diversities, having lot of differentiations among the people, but the people never stopped their civilization, never stopped their difference and their development. So that is the greatness of this country, and that is what separates our country from all other countries in the world. And not only that, while they are the other regions of the world, while they are common to the world country in degree sufficient to justify its treatment as a unity in a history of human, social, and intellectual development. So it's a treatment here is behavior. So, so how can we justify that the civilization, the progress, the development never stop? So we can understand that the behavior of the unity in the history of a human, social, and intellectual development. So civilization never not only talks about the way of life, it also talks about the history of the human life and social life, how we behave with the people, and intellectual development. And no, intellectually means intelligence. So behavioral way, all the Indians have this kind of development. So though the many other countries never had any kind of diversity, they say that they are all one. They are not able to surpass India in many streams, though they say they are one. But we, with many differentiations among our people, but we are surpassing so many countries in this world. And that is the greatness of all the Indians, I can say. And the next paragraph, even the early Indian history unmistakably shows that the political consciousness of the people has, from the very early times, grasped the whole of the India as a unit and assimilated the entire area as the theater of its activity. India is not a mere geographical expression, nor it is a mere collection of separate people, traditions, and conventions. India is much more than this. The best proof lies in the fact that Indian history has quickened into life. Indian history has quickened into life, just went into our own life. So all Indians' life is low, filled with Indian history, and we are all very, very clear about our own history. And no, here in this paragraph, the author is talking about political consciousness of the people, political consciousness, political intelligence, awareness. So we have to appreciate all the politicians who have led this country from 0 to 100 now. So we were parts sometime back ago, but we were united by lot of talk, by lot of discussions, by lot of uh, negotiations among the people, among the regions, among the religions, among the places. And after negotiations, we finally became one. And that is very, very greatest activity that was formed by our politicians. And of course, we all know that political realization is the best realization. That is because of that only we are as Indians now. Just imagine if there was no political consciousness among our people, we wouldn't have got the freedom itself. So political awareness brought a lot of great things to this country. For example, the shape of the country is because of this political awareness only. Whatever shape that we see today, India is a geographical expression, geographical thing that is also political consciousness, political intelligence that we can easily understand that. And what the author is saying, country is not the geography, country is not the land. No, it is much more than this particular place, whatever we see as India as a place. No, that is beyond this land. There are so many things that we need to understand in this country. We have separate people, traditions, conventions, beliefs. Even then, also, there is a proof that the fact that Indian history is lied in each individual of this country. So it is assimilated, it is integrated in our blood. So now we say that yes, we are Indians, we have history. So we are, no, this is what everybody, every one of us are aware of. In the next paragraph, India has many races, castes, subcastes, nationalities, and communities, but the heart of India is one. We are all heirs to a common and rich culture. Our cultural heritage consists of our art and literature as they flourished centuries ago. Our cultural heritage serves as a bond of unity between people of different faiths and creeds. So our cultural heritage serves as a bond of unity between the people of different faiths and creeds. So here we are talking about heirs. We are the receivers, recipients. We are receiving our cultural heritage from centuries and centuries ago. And India, as we know, is the land of cultures, land of different cultures, and it's a land of divine culture. And most of the countries respect India only because of its culture. There are many cultural traits that formed us, that are inbuilt in us, and we cannot violate them. We cannot go beyond them because already in our blood it is inserted. Though there are many races, castes, subcastes, nationalities, communities, but the heart of our India is only one thing. That is the greatest thing that we have to talk about in this paragraph. And the next paragraph, the streams of different cultures have flowed into our subcontinent to make us what we are and what we will be. There were Dravidians in India before coming of the Aryans, and Hinduism is a blend of the cultures of the north and the south. So this, so though there are many streams, so many people invaded our country. They tried to establish their own traditions and their own way of life, but Indians never uh, took their formalities, took their ways of life. And here he is giving an example. There were Dravidians in India before the coming of Aryans. Aryans also invaded in this country, and but they settled with us and they are living with us. And Hinduism is the greatest thing, that is a blend of all cultures of North and South. So there is, what is the connection between North India and South India? North and South means North India, South India. And so it is only Hinduism that is a blend. Hinduism is a life we are living. So this is the Hinduism is the greatest thing that in this paragraph we will understand, which is uniting the entire country in entire people of this country. So unity in diversity in India is exactly what is happening in this country. So what we have understood from learning from reading up to this chapter. So we have in India many groups, many languages, many races, many castes, many subcastes, many nationalities, many communities, many religions, many beliefs, many different dressings, and many. Okay, but one nation, one country, one nation. That is Indianness. That is what we have understood from these paragraphs. And so this is the wonderful country that we are living in, and you would never find such kind of country. You go any country, and they say we all belong to same, but they never live together. That is the sweetness of our country. Thank you very much for listening to this class, and we will meet in the next class.
Okay, sir.